Hi, today I would like to introduce my new Vitrage Generator tool that creates stained glass in just one click. In this video I would like to present how to use it and describe the capabilities of the tool. You don't need to install Vitrage Generator, just download the .blend file from the store and run it. Blender version should be 5.0 or higher. Lower versions may run more slowly or may not work at all. First, I would like to explain how to prepare a mesh for use with the tool. It's very simple. You only need to apply the scale and unwrap the mesh. You can apply scale by pressing Ctrl+A and selecting scale. Then enter edit mode, set the axis on which geometry is oriented, and personally, I like to use U project from view option. This allows the object to be perfectly laid out on a flat plane. However, if you use a different unwrap method, that's completely fine. The next step is to run the script that is already prepared in the lower section of Blender file. This script allows the texture to be applied to the correct place in the geometry nodes and shader nodes, so you can do it with a single click. After running the script, a Vitrage Generator dialog window will appear in the modifiers panel. Now you just need to click load texture and select the texture you want to use. And that's it. By enabling render view, we can see that stained glass effect working together with the added caustics. Now I would like to discuss the most important options of the tool. The first option is resolution. As you have probably already noticed, the add-on creates metal frames inside the model that separate the glass elements. By increasing the resolution value, we increase both the quality and the detail level of these frames. Click before apply allows you to apply all operation before converting the stained glass into geometry. After using this option, you can apply the modifier and the geometry will become a mesh that can be easily duplicated and transferred between Blender projects without any additional performance overhead. For this reason, I also recommend performing all stained glass operations in a separate Blender file. The slice method controls how the frame and glass segmentation are generated. The system analyzes image contrast and creates geometry between different tonal areas. Line preview displays a live preview of generated slice lines. Slice points. There are 3 separate slice points: slice point 1, slice point 2, and slice point 3. These values control the cutting threshold used during geometry generation. Delete smaller pieces removes tiny geometry fragments generated during slicing. It's useful for cleaning the mesh, removing artifacts, or optimizing topology. Veins and frame. These settings control the metal frame and lead connections between glass pieces. 3D resolution controls profile geometry resolution. Veins width controls the width of lead connections between glass pieces. Veins height controls the height of the lead veins. Frame width controls the width of the outer frame around the stained glass. Frame height controls the height of the outer frame. Voronoi. This is one of the most important sections of the tool. The stained glass is divided into 2 procedural regions, min area and max area. This allows you to create 2 different glass pieces scales with the single stained glass design. Scale min and scale max control glass piece size. Higher numbers cause smaller glass pieces and lower numbers cause larger glass pieces. Recommended range is between 30 and 200 for most artworks. Randomness min and max controls randomness of the generated glass shapes. Value 0 causes no randomness and value 1 maximum randomness. Min and max affect the 2 procedural regions independently. Voronoi shape min-max controls the shape style of Voronoi glass cells. Min and max correspond to the 2 procedural regions. Experimentation is highly recommended here because this parameter strongly affects the artistic style. Smooth smooths the borders between glass pieces inside the shader. Parallax adds depth and internal volume illusion of the glass. This helps the stained glass appear more realistic and physically rich. Depth controls parallax depth intensity. Slide intensive controls visible sliding intensity inside the glass surface. Bevel light thickness controls bevel lightning thickness. Color controls light behavior and color variation of the glass. Gain light controls how much light passes through the glass, Higher values cause brighter stained glass and stronger illumination. Gain shadow controls how much shadow passes through the glass. Soft random colors controls procedural color randomness. Value 1 is minimal randomness, and 100 highly randomized colors. Negative values cause darker randomized tones. Inside light color cause additional internal emissive color. Bump controls surface texture and glass imperfections. Here I recommend experimenting, but the difference is so small that I will skip this part. Shader tweaks global shader controls. Shader strength controls overall shader intensity. Bump strength controls global bump intensity. Emission adds emissive glow to the glass. Extra caustic enable additional realistic light caustics. The add-on can generate projected stained glass lighting based on scene lighting direction. Rim controls the outer frame material. Rim color changes frame color. Rim texture scale controls texture scale of the frame material. Vitrage Generator is currently in beta. The add-on is fully functional, although some operation may run slower because of the complex procedural calculation involved. Performance optimization remains one of the highest priorities of future updates. If you are interested in the tool, be sure to check out my Gumroad and Superhive. And if you are still among the first 50 people supporting this project, you will receive a 20% discount. Simply use this code on Gumroad, and on Superhive, if the discount codes are still available, it will be applied automatically. I also encourage you to check out my two other tools, Ornament Generator and Stitch Generator, links to which I will leave in the video description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next update.